Good evening. Today is Monday, January 5th. It is 7 p.m. And I would like to call the Sugar Creek Board of Trustees regular meeting to order, except I'm not the chairman anymore. I'm passing the gavel to the person who officially can call it.
All right, I will call this meeting to order. Rich, will you take the roll, please?
Ms. Putterball?
Here.
Mr. Kramer?
Here.
Mrs. Stephanie?
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have a minister?
We do not. Okay, first up, we have a presentation from the Little Miami Watershed Network, and they sent 4 representatives here. So are you speaking first? Allison, okay. All right, come on up, Allison.
I have Vanna.
Okay, all the Vannas.
I'll hold up a sign for you. My trustee assistants.
What can I do? Made folders. Oh, wow, look at that. Take one, pass it down.
All right.
Maybe I can send it.
Is it flipped?
Yep. I don't know.
I think there's 5, so
Perfect.
whoever wants one, I guess. All right, so I'm Allison Pfeiffer. I'm the executive director for Little Miami Watershed Network. We have been actively involved in this community for a little over 15 years now. So we are currently seeking funds for a economic impact study that we would like to repeat. We partnered with OSU for this, and this right here is, and there's a little insert in your folder that explains the findings that were part of the final report from OSU. We did surveys of 45 different sites of the upper 43 miles of the river, and basically showed the impact that recreational activities have on local economies. And so if you want to look through your stuff, maybe. So,
Allison, you did a report like this before.
yes.
We've used the information you put together. We went to Washington, D.C. and had a packet put together for why we ought to have a bike path. Okay.
I sure hope you guys did, because Sugar Creek, one of the sites is the Millbridge launch, and that was the highest area for sports, for water sports. Sorry, not sports, not like, water sports. So, and the Little Miami was analyzed as the most valuable scenic river in the state of Ohio. So because of this report, data from this report and other reports, it elevated it to that level. And obviously the river goes through a huge section of Sugar Creek.
So this is a updated report from the new findings you found.
No, we would like to repeat the report. So we'd like to repeat the survey. So we did it in 2021. The survey came out in 2022 after all of the data was collected and reported on by OSU. And what we'd like to do is repeat it 5 years later, and then next year will be the new 5-year update for what's going on. So we want to see if trends have changed. Many different things could go into that. So I can just go really quick on our talking points for this. Past effort, we had surveys done at 45 sites with 12 to 15 volunteers, April through October. We would repeat that as well. So that it would stay consistent, keeping data consistent as well and usable for things like what you said you used it for in Washington, D.C. And many other organizations have told us they've used this for different stuff too. So that's the key part of it, is that it is helping other places apply for grants or show that there's economic impact of these different areas if you want to open a business near here, things like that. So they were all collected through the website, OSU's website, so OSU had control of all of that. They would do that again for us so that it would all be a landing page. So you would get a survey, you could scan it, or you can call a number and put in your information of why you were at that site that day, if you spent any money, if you rented a kayak, or if you were fly fishing, or you were just enjoying the water. You know, there's a million different reasons, and they would collect all those and collectively figure out what the common situation was depending on the site. And then also take that and look at how that equates to dollars and cents as well. So Chris Barnett, who's right here, was responsible for assigning all of the volunteers then, and is leading this right now. So don't scare her, please. We need her to do that again. I feel like she's not scared of very many things. She's pretty tough. I'm not worried about it, but I like to say it, like, please don't run. And she made sure that everything was that the volunteers were following all of the different standards that OSU has so that it is a viable survey. Because everybody knows, like, if you don't collect the information correctly or something goes wrong, then the whole thing is for naught. So she keeps that all in line and makes sure that it works. We print out the surveys, so the funding would help us print all of those things, compensate volunteers for their mileage and their gas, because obviously that's a really spread out area and they're all not conveniently right next to each other. It's not like driving a mile then getting out again. So that's important for part of that, just to keep in mind. So that's how we have the 12 to 15 volunteers are going to be spread out among that again. So we know it works, and we want to repeat it again so that it is as consistent as possible and the data is as usable as it was 5 years ago. So
Do you advertise that you're doing a survey, or do you like to say, hey, show up this day to be
No.
tested while you're on the
No, you
the
don't
river
wanna
or
do
something?
that. You want it to be-
It's totally random.
yeah, so you're capturing what was actually happening, so that information will, you don't want to advertise it. You don't want a bunch of fake
Gotcha.
data.
Data.
Yeah.
So totally
that's-
who's showing up.
Yeah, so it is whoever's there, so it could be somebody, maybe that's the first time they've ever gone there, but that's part of the survey where they would like talk about, what their usage is and how that relates to what their choices were that day, and on and on and on, so.
Allison, I want to make sure I understand how the numbers work here. People took on average 4.8 trips to the river corridor each year. So if you identified a person that went to the river corridor, on average, they took 4.8 trips per year, is that what that means?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
I know, all of a sudden you're making me question myself too, but yes, yeah.
And of those,
Some people might not
vehicles
be
that made those trips contain 2.6 people on average spending with, okay.
And if you think about that, that's like going to be the person that, you drop your car off for canoe and then it does a big drive. So usually you have two people when you're canoeing and,
So if I take the 836,000 trips and divide it by 4.8, which is the average, you got 175,000, roughly 175,000 people who made trips to the river corridor. Is that fair?
in the section that we survey.
So help me out with the section that you surveyed. There's
We
45
are
sites.
Lower Clark County,
Okay,
okay, if you're familiar with where Baker
this
Station
is where Van.
all the way down
here.
to almost Lebanon.
so, yep,
Yeah.
Sorry, it's our area is up.
gotcha. So more than half of the length of the river.
No, only 43 miles.
It's 100 and, it's a little over 100 miles. It's 116.
About 105 mile long.
And we did this in.
Well, if I'm looking at
Just
the
the
picture,
43.
it appears that you took the upper half, more than half of the upper, so, okay.
But not the upper half of the of the population.
Gotcha.
Because Cincinnati, of course, is the big dog.
So it looks like it includes bike hike activities too. From here, at least, it said three top activities were,
That
but
includes the
but
mountain
you're,
bike trail.
so you're including the bike trail. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you all should know that the Bellbrook Sugar Creek Park is going to put in, is, as we speak, putting in another public access to the river.
Oh, Beezer Reserve, is that what you're talking about? Sure.
So it should change the numbers more in your favor.
Okay. So all the
Yeah,
stuff that you have in this
it-
packet,
It may not be surveyed, though, because if it's not open, we can't survey people that are not,
oh, good point.
can't survey construction
So
people.
everything in this packet is of as it was when you did the last survey, which was in 2022?
One. The report came out in
So
'22,
that's-
but it's important to know that it was April to October '21. So we were emerging from our COVID era.
Kind of deal.
So the 45 sites, are those all of the public sites
Correct.
in that space?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. Doesn't include private sites either?
no.
Does not include the canoe liveries, because those are considered private sites.
Well, that's a big number.
It's a huge number.
That's that you don't catch.
How can you not have that in there?
Can you not include that?
It is in there, it was modeled. So there was an effort by Ohio State to contact deliveries. In this case, they had information from Bellbrook and River's Edge, and maybe one additional from Morgan's, I think. And in the report, in the original 2021 report, they spoke specifically about deliveries. So that's covered by a section in there. So they did address it in the report.
But it's not in these numbers?
No.
Wow.
Not in those numbers.
Because those are huge numbers.
Yes,
Rivers
they
are.
Edge-
That changes,
really are.
that changes the
Massive.
game.
It's so significantly important,
And I'm sure,
right?
Yeah,
I'm sure Rhett
Yes.
knows those numbers that he could share. Could it be incorporated in your report, or no?
yeah.
He did share data with.
He did share data
Ohio
with Ohio
State.
State.
Okay.
So if you go to our website, it's on the news section, and then it's all right there, too. So the full report's 20 pages long, so I tried to save a couple
We're
trees.
probably going to go to the summary.
Yeah,
So you came here asking us to want to contribute to this effort.
yes.
So I'm a numbers kind of person, so I apologize if I'm going right to the numbers. How much is it going to cost to up-to-date this? How much do you have already, and what are you looking for?
So we're looking for 2,500. We need to raise at least 20,000. OSU is donating, or not donating, it's in kind, $60,000. So it's $80,000 to do the entire thing. As of right now, we're around 17,000. So we have some people who are kind of dragging, we're waiting to see,
So you have 17,000 of the 20 that you need?
Yes.
Have you asked Bill Sheeman for any money?
We've asked Bill,
I've sent him a lot of emails.
Might know him.
I was just going to say, all four of us have paid in a lot of wet shoes and and years sweating throughout the summer. And stinky cars. I feel like all our cars kind of smell a
sure.
little bit like river water. So, but yeah, so if there's anything else on that, I can break it down a little more, or whatever you guys need.
needed by?
Why don't you let me just briefly cover the highlights of this?
I know, this is really cool. I was wondering if you do you want to hear highlights of how it's Sugar Creek?
Absolutely.
Makes us super proud that Sugar Creek is part of this community and all of
Why don't you
this.
stay here and follow me along, in case there's an official question for the executive director of the Lower
Got it.
Watershed Network.
I'm only here because of Bill, so.
So in your
give him all the
package,
credit.
you'll see this memorandum from Ohio State dated February 21st, 2023. After they got the official report out, crunched all the numbers from all of our surveys, all of our people, it raised some interesting questions to the professor that headed this. And so this is a follow-up you can see kind of analysis that answers some of those questions. The main thing being addressed in here philosophically is they knew from our survey data that people who lived closer to the river made more trips. That's like, duh, yeah, if you live close, you're going to make more trips. But that was not explicitly captured in the analysis because the analysis looked at all the trips, put in a giant mixer and mixed together and averaged out all the trips. But the people living closer, they laid a template on it and say, let's look at the people that are living within 2 miles of the riverbank. So 2 miles east, 2 miles west, let's look at that corridor and see what the participation is. So they went back and they looked at their numbers again, and it was the majority of the trips were made by people living within 2 miles of the corridor. So it was a huge factor that wasn't initially apparent in the original document. So if you look at Sugar Creek Township specifically, and you say, how many people in Sugar Creek Township live within 2 miles of the Little Miami, it's a huge number for the people you represent. I can't tell you that exact number because it would probably take a GIS person a month or more to mine that all out, and then they would just have the geographic locations of the buildings. You'd have to go back and see how many people were in there. But I think it's fair to say, after consulting informally and briefly with Barry and Kara this afternoon, you might be looking at 60, 70%, even more of the Sugar Creek Township residents live in that corridor. So the point I'm trying to make is the value of the money we're asking you for, that's going to impact a significant part of the population of this township. And that's one of the reasons we're here tonight. So just flipping this open to second page, you can see how they accumulated all the values of all the rivers, and in Table 2, the Little Miami River is the most valuable river of all the scenic rivers in Ohio. And we've added 2 more scenic rivers in Ohio since we did this study. But the Little Miami River, part of that is because of the population of Hamilton County, but part of that is because of the population of Sugar Creek. And when you address something that is not in here, which is property values, which is another knock-on study that Ohio State, the Economic Department did, the property values of the properties within 2 mile corridor is extraordinarily high, way above average. So that's another reason that we're here talking to you tonight with a high concentration of your population and the amount of property value that's here. I think it's really in your wheelhouse to help support this. And we're almost there, but we'd like to make that goal tonight.
For what it's worth, trustees, simple math, this equates to 25 cents per person, roughly, in Sugar Creek Township, as far as a contribution from the township.
And I will say, we've partnered over the years. We generally give a donation. We've done like the happy fish signs for no dumping in the area. We've also done the cleanup days. We've been very involved with the cleanup days over the years. And last year, we put some money in to show a viewing of a movie that they made about clean water. So this is not new, but it's a new way for us to contribute or consider contributing.
By the way, we do have some of those T-shirts available for sale.
More than 25 cents a piece.
Oh, yeah.
For the river cleanup,
Yes, they
yes.
are.
And don't know if you have any other technical questions. If you want, we can talk about the,
You can't break out
we can
Sugar
talk
Creek
about the
Township.
calculus. What?
You can't break Sugar Creek Township out of these numbers, can you?
No, I can't. I can't break them specifically out. What I can do is, if you look on Table 1, Line 8, the Greene County number for all of Greene County is in.
Yeah.
And I do want to say that the Sugar Creek Township sites that were surveyed, there were more than 33,000 visitors to those two sites, which is Morris Reserve, right up there, in case someone doesn't know, and Millbridge
Is there a
Launch.
launch there at Morris?
Go
No,
on.
Okay.
no.
And Hope just
The
brought up
neighbor would have to be
Hope just-
The
okay
other
with
one?
that.
No.
Hope just
I'm
brought
sorry,
up this
what-
detail page from the original study.
Oh,
So you can look at these numbers right there for the Bellbrook Sugar Creek
Beaver
piece
Creek, yeah.
right there. The Bellbrook Sugar Creek piece alone was valued at almost $600,000,
yeah,
and that was in 2021.
5,900, oh my gosh,
500.
five,
6,000.
yeah,
Almost 600,000.
about 600,000, 500.
And that's economic, like economic
Recreational.
recreational for our area.
Does that include revenue generated at the
Liveries.
livery? It does not.
That's the part I don't know.
I don't know, I would have to go back.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah,
I
I-
Well,
couldn't
I'll tell you what,
comment unless I went back and read the
That
original
number
report.
would change this big time.
It really would.
Yep.
I mean, this is your low ball.
Yes, it is.
It's very conservative, yeah.
Yeah, Ohio State has done a number of these studies in the last decade. They did a value study for ODNR, on all the ODNR facilities in the state. And ODNR had one criticism of them, and they said, you are way too conservative. But that's the ground that Ohio State's economic studies like this like to stand on. They like to stand on. If somebody's going to criticize us, let them say we were too conservative. I just want to finish my comments by, if you're still on the same page, I found the most shocking part of this, for me personally, or surprising, was in that last paragraph underneath Table 2. They concluded that, based on the recreation near scenic rivers accounts for 8% of all the outdoor recreation in the state of Ohio. I mean, that's all the fishing, all the hunting, all the biking, all the recreation. They conclude that you put all the people that visit scenic river corridors, these 2 miles of scenic river corridors together, it's 8% of all the recreation in the state. And then they follow that up with something that we all found interesting. They looked at public lands in the next sentence, and they found that most of the public lands, 7% of all public lands in the state are in scenic river corridors. And if you just look at our local area here, look at our scenic river corridors, again, within 2 miles, look at all the public lands we have in parks, locally owned parks, state parks, all the public owned, all public lands. So scenic rivers are, I'm going to shut up at this, they're extremely valuable. You take a,
So at the end of the day, are we getting a new one of these with this process?
Yes, that's the goal, so that we'll have.
Here's what I don't see in this version. I do see it, actually, the acknowledgements.
Yes, it should be on the
So-
first page,
right.
yeah. And it's acknowledgement, I think.
So here's what I would
Greg Hart is
ask,
the
if the
volunteers.
trustees are going to consider this, one of the things that we're trying to do always is project our image, right? And recognition of the community of Sugar Creek, because we get coupled with Bellbrook so often. or I live in Dayton, I live in Beaver Creek, because of their mailing address. So identity is huge for us. There's a half a page on this paper that wasn't used, wasn't utilized. If they can, you've got sponsors in here, that if they included their logos, that's advertisement for them. That makes sense? And I'm not saying you should repeat this exact publication, but if there's an opportunity for us to have our logo in here along with a mention, to me, that's advertising dollars, and that helps also. When I say helps, it helps.
Yeah,
these
and
folks.
we've also rebranded, so we're trying to do some things too similar to that, because
Yeah, your logo.
we don't like getting,
Your logo's totally different from what I came up with on my computer in all those years.
We didn't press them on that when they ponied up 100% of all the computing power.
Yeah.
They had interns working on
Yep.
this. But now that, we're bringing serious money to the table,
Yeah,
we will definitely bring that up to them. And we'll do our best.
yeah, and we'll have, I'm working on, if you've been to our website lately, I still love our website, but there's some updates that are coming because I want it to be a little bit page that's a little more obvious of where it's at, so. But I don't know how to write websites, so I need someone to help me get those pages made, and then I put the rest of it on. So we're in the process of that right now.
Can you tell me the flower that's included in your logo, what that flower, because it looks like an invasive species to me.
Oh, it's a cone.
It's a purple sunflower.
I'm kidding.
I'm not going to question
I
hope
know
on
that's
this.
a sore subject for hope.
Native purple coneflower because the petals are dropping, or drooping. If they were out flat, then it's probably hybridized, but if they're drooping like this.
There you go.
Yes, and actually, that's
Every day is a school day,
that's
right?
why we have it, because
Yeah.
one of our initiatives, which that's what I want more emphasized on our thing, is how important it is to, in your own backyard, take action, and that might mean different things to different people, but one easy way is native plants. So that's why we picked a native plant that's easy to grow pretty much anywhere.
You should tell me where your pictures are on your website. This is a beautiful river, but what part of the river is it?
That is the Glen.
That's Glenn
No,
Helen.
that's John Bryan.
John Bryant?
It is?
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Glen, that's on.
I'll let Chris, she probably took most of these pictures.
That's Lower Bellbrook Road.
Yeah, that's what
in the Narrows, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's, somebody knows that piece of river.
That one's in Sugar Creek.
I was going to say, I thought I was looking, okay.
I have that piece of the river every week of the last year. So if
Yes.
you'd like to have that. whole
You have lots of
edition, let me
pictures.
know.
I will do
Is
that.
there a picture on here of a good-looking fella in a canoe with a utility pole on his kayak? Is that on there somewhere?
It should-
Ooh,
I don't know, go to events, see what's going on in events.
Or you could be one with a very big shoe.
Do we know anyone?
That's good.
We had lots of tires. We wouldn't have wanted.
I was going to say the mermaid has not been on the website in a while.
Okay.
That would be
So-
okay.
Oh, don't you worry, I have it forever. You never know when that'll pop up.
Well, I have two things then.
Okay.
So one, we were just talking in our work session about trying to increase, have more good news stories out there on our website. So if we do vote to do this, could we get a picture with you and advertise that this is a good news story for Sugar Creek Township?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then secondly, I want to
prepare for this.
consult our fiscal officer, so we always have to go back to the budget. So I know they are saying the ask is $2,500 for us. Is that within our budget? And-
Well, I'll ask it differently than I have
Okay,
in the
gotcha.
past. I mean, the question, can we afford it, is, can we afford it? Yes, we can write a check today. The thoughts are looking forward at budgets and the way expenditures increase faster than tax revenue, I think gets back on you all. But I think we're in a fairly strong position, and we have been, well, this whole year, which I'll go over later, but I think we're in as strong a position as we have been in the last couple of years. Is that fair?
So, Rich, if I'm not mistaken, last time we made a contribution, it was $1,000.
$1,000, correct.
Now they're asking $2,500.
25 cents per person.
But this would be a one-time this year ask,
So-
not continuing
In
necessarily.
our discussion.
Maybe ask you again in 5 years, but we'll see how this
I'll tell
goes.
you what, I'm pretty comfortable with 1,000, and I'd be willing to go to 2,500 and consider it, Barry's 25 cents, if I knew our logo was going to be in there.
I
I saw
mean,
Chris taking notes, so I don't know, but you don't know if you can do that, so.
I'm sure
That's
OSU
not a hard ask.
I
Yeah.
suspect OSU would agree
Yeah.
if that was
And-
one of the qualifications.
and the surveys we've talked about, I really want to make sure that it's known who's doing it. So as long as it won't, what's the word? It won't mess with, make anything biased with survey results. I would like it to have the funders, us, obviously, everybody's contribution, so that people know it's legit. It's just not some weird phone number and QR code that somebody they didn't see put on their windshield, so that they know.
The original survey, the paper that we left for everybody, had all of the listings, just like the inside of the brochure is. So the wording was there, just not the logo.
Gotcha, yes,
For
and it does
us
say
to go back
Sugar
and
Creek
put the
County.
logo on, that's a simple
Yeah.
drop and click, that's easy.
And I, as far as I,
Yeah,
yeah, and I control like our marketing stuff, and that's part of, my background's recreation and marketing, so that's where I can do that easily, so.
One more comment, Fred, well, everyone, is that, we've been in a favorable position in interest income the last couple of years. So when I think of these kinds of things, I mean, that's not tax revenue. We've taken advantage of deposits and interest rates. So we've earned a considerable amount of interest compared to previous years in the last couple, so.
Any more questions or comments? Okay. Well, I think I know enough to make a motion that we donate the $2,500 ask for the Little Miami River hooks.
I'll second that.
Ms. Putterball?
So it's yes or no? Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Stephanie?
Yes. Okay, motion
That is
carried.
contingent
Can we-
upon us having the logo in there.
Okay.
And I don't want to have that figure that you had for Sugar Creek Township, because I think it's way too low, and I'd just rather use the bigger number, and we'll do some
but we
extrapolation.
can't advocate you degrees, because it'll cue everything from the left.
I understand.
Okay, can we
You're
get a picture then
responsible for
before you
giving
go?
me a high-resolution
All right.
logo.
It'll be there
Okay,
tomorrow.
we'll take a
Thank you
quick
so
break
much.
and do a photo for, if that's all right,
And
before you
and to
go.
Fred, I want to direct this comment. I, like everybody else here, the four of us, think it's doable, but Ohio State has an academic level that they try to keep on their publications, and none of us know at this point whether or not they would allow that on something that they publish officially. But they haven't started for the next academic period yet, and that's why we were able to talk to them today. We didn't ask them this question, but we'll be able to get an answer on this fairly quickly. That, I'm grateful that you didn't make it conditional, and we'll do our part to give you an answer through Barry as soon as we can get it from Ohio State. So thank you.
That's right.
I was just going to say, well, another option would be maybe if they can't do it, maybe on your website, it could be like thanks to, and the Sugar
Yeah,
Creek
that's-
logo could be.
That's again.
That's what I was saying.
We can do that,
That's
for
what I'm saying with the stuff that I'm redesigning. I want it to be more specific, because we have a movie as well that has very specific donors, but it's just like rolling, and I want it to be like, this
That
was
would
theirs,
reach
this
a lot
was
of
theirs.
people.
That it gives the ownership to it, so, yeah.
And if you need more good news, I bet Allison will be happy to put you on the mailing list.
Carolyn
I'm
gets
good.
all
I
my
think I'm
emails.
good.
I know. I actually checked the other day, because we were talking about something, I was like, did she get the email? And it said open, and I was like, oh, look at that, good job.
Don't go anywhere, we want pictures.
All right, okay, we want to quick get a picture, and if anyone wants to take a break, you can do that real fast, and we'll get right back to the rest of the meeting. So-
No, we're going to do a picture. We're going to have, I want the map.
All right, yeah, we
I want the map. The map's the colorful one.
I can mark where all the 4-pound smallmouth live.
There you go.
All right, make sure we're centered, you got us centered.
Are there any large, I want to be next to Hope.
Come on.
Can I be next to Hope? She might be.
I need more people on this side and less people on this side. We're all centered.
You're going to make me look really short. Okay.
We really thank you.
We really thank you for
We're
your
just gonna go for it. I mean, it's gonna be what it is. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, I got a bunch. Perfect, thank
We
you.
really thank you for your help.
Okay.
We really thank you for your help.
Gosh, I just tried over my book.
She wanted us to read the numbers that we've already read.
Good thing we had nothing.
3 other times. I was like, that was the worst.
Better say 7:30.
But you knew before we walked in what we were going to do. Pretty much.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know what the number was going to be. I knew it was going to be more than 1,000. I knew it was going to be less than 5.
So you suggest we take a break, but, okay. Okay. Okay, if you folks would like to leave, you're welcome to go, but
Stay.
you're welcome to go if you'd like to go, or you're welcome to stay if you'd like to stay, but.
We're going to reconvene a little meeting.
Reconvene, okay, there you go, all right,
Since we have all of us here together.
okay, there you go.
Use our middle conference room.
Okay,
If it's
thank
not
you.
open, just poke your head back in here and I'll
All right.
open it for you.
Okay, and next up, some of you will notice that we have a very new trustee, her first meeting. So I mentioned to Jody ahead that we'd offer, if you would like to say any comments or anything, but we'd like to welcome Jody to her very first trustee meeting.
Thank you, it's good to be here, just ready to learn and dive in, so, thanks.
Yeah, I think we fire hosed her with a whole bunch of information today at our work session, so welcome aboard.
Information overload for like the
Yes.
last 4 or 5 days.
Gotcha. All right, well, with that, we'll go ahead and get started with the agenda, so we'll start with the administrator's report.
Nothing, Dan.
So the meeting with the 675 Wilmington Pike is just for Phase 1 of the 5-phase project?
We'll discuss the whole thing.
Okay.
But the update to, that's an old report, Karen. Are you on, is that,
That's the one in our packet, too.
That's the one that's on my computer.
how the heck did that happen?
January 5th. I don't know.
Maybe not, okay. Anyhow, oh, no, that's correct, yeah, that's correct, I'm sorry. So the cost-sharing agreement that's being circulated with Greene County right now is just for the first phase. And unless the county signs off on it, there's no reason for us to consider it at this point.
Well, I think if we go to the meeting that the city of Centerville is hosting and get smarter on what they ask and what it's looking like, and Stephanie Goff will be there, is that a true
I
statement?
suppose.
We suppose, okay. So we can consider approaching the commissioners at that point then, if not.
So
This will deal with Clio and Wilmington, that intersection.
that's Phase 1, yes. We had a spreadsheet that Pat Turnbull put together back in the day that included all 5 phases. Greene County approved $295,704. okay? I've got that as in Phase 1. So I think that money's already been approved, and the commissioners approved it.
But there's been changes to the agreement, so.
Okay.
We need to get it reapproved.
We got
I think it can.
We got to go to the meeting now.
Yeah, I think we'll work on that, so that's something to continue discussions.
So you're
with.
having breakfast at Sinclair. I think, Jody, you said you cannot attend,
She
correct?
cannot, but I will try to get that
Okay.
at least then. Yeah.
Doesn't mean it will be off the charts, it'll be dead deal if they don't approve it.
I don't know, Denise. I really don't. I mean, the city of Centerville is already spending a lot more than they should, as are we at this point on this project, because of the lack of commitment from Greene County. I don't think it'll kill it, but it'll increase our cost and the city of Centerville's cost, which isn't right.
And there was some also discussion, like trying to get Kettering perhaps involved because the traffic flow, and they're not playing, and the city of Bellbrook.
Montgomery
So
County's not going to
there's-
participate. It's unfortunate.
But we have gotten, Dayton Development Coalition has stepped up. They're getting more involved with this. I'm trying to get some momentum behind the project. And as you know, Congressman Turner donated some money towards it. So we're just, I think we just need to regain momentum and try to get people informed about it, and then realize the impact on traffic, because as we know, at the speed that these things happen, it'll probably be in place in 10 years, and then we'll really have traffic congestion issues in front of Costco and that whole interchange.
Yeah, it's at least 4 years away before they start on a lot of this.
All right, anything else? All right.
I did want to note on my report also, the last item, Pat Turnbull with the city of Centerville, he's their engineer, has tendered his resignation. He's going to go to LJB Engineering. So we'll still be working with him, probably not on this project, but on other issues in the future.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He's really good. Okay.
And I would have expected that he would have led this meeting, but he's officially gone.
He's
on the
actually
list.
leaving February 1st.
Yeah, I think he was
gave them
on
a
the
month's
list.
notice.
Okay.
On there. yeah.
So he will be part of this meeting.
So I told the mayor of Oakwood that he's gone because they considered him to be the new city manager there. And so they're glad he's staying in the area.
Yep.
Is it Choice One Engineering that's doing the lighting for the Veterans Memorial
Yeah.
statue? Okay. We got a couple nice warm days coming up. I don't know.
I don't think there'll be enough.
That was good. She snuck it in there.
All right. Can't blame me for trying. All right. Zoning.
Can we back up real quick?
Oh, sure.
'Cause
One more.
I want to make sure Jody understands. We're talking about stuff that she's not been here for, so
Oh.
I want to bring her up to speed. The lighting at the memorial are the incorrect fixtures that were installed. As you know, probably by driving by, they don't light the statue well at all, and they light the poles, but not the flags. So they're going to exchange those fixtures out at no cost to the township.
I have nothing
Okay.
to add, but I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
Love to hear the latest update on the Ober development, which is the Pete Romo property.
I talked to Mr. Ober this morning. They do not have a completed and approved traffic impact study yet, so that will, he sent a request today to be tabled again at the January zoning commission meeting, so we will just continue to likely hold that case until the traffic impact study is completed and submitted.
And that's, what, 43 homes on 43 acres?
Correct,
Lots.
that's the proposal that's been submitted, 43 homes on roughly 43 acres. Yep.
A related update for Greene County Regional Planning Commission. Deandra Neville, who is the director, has tendered her resignation. She is moving to a new county, so we do not know who the new director is going to be. They are in the process of vetting new candidates for that, but that is going to probably affect some of the cases coming through planning for right now. we'll see what happens with that.
It's too bad.
It is.
And Culver's is going in at,
Correct. I anticipate their plan submission probably coming in this week. So Culver's has purchased the Popeyes. They're
Popeyes.
going to demolish it and then build a Culver's. So that will be happening probably pretty quickly. I can't remember what they told me, but it was a substantially quick build, like 5 or 6 months till the thing is constructed.
They want it in
and
time for
ready to go.
summer?
They use the same contractor for all of the Culvers, and it's a well-oiled machine, so.
Okay, I understand. Was it 3 parking spaces they just needed slightly with?
So,
they were
the
just a piece?
Culvers, or the Popeye site, formerly the Applebee's site, I don't know what it was before that, had, there's a parking easement on their property that serves the adjacent parcel. That parking
Starbucks.
easement, though, is calculated into their number of parking spaces, and the township has a maximum number of parking spaces, so we just had to get the BZA to reauthorize the parking easement area, which takes them over their required maximum number.
okay. Super, we're excited about that.
Yes. Great group. It sounds like they're just as excited to be in the community. It was funny, my 2 applicants, I have never stayed after a BZA meeting for as long. They were best friends. I think they went to Macintosh's after and had drinks, so it was an interesting meeting. Both applicants left best friends, so that
There you
never
go.
happened.
Well, that's good.
What is the EMA Cyber Ohio grant?
Oh, so
Did you
we
apply for?
applied quite a long time ago for the Cyber Ohio had a grant available. We worked with tech advisors. They told us some things that we should ask for. We were successful. We got just under $13,000. Our match is about $3,000, and tech advisors is going to be buying something very important for our IT infrastructure, I'm certain, and I will tell you exactly what that is when I get more information about it.
Okay, great. All right, any other questions for Kara?
Nope.
And just an aside, I have had this drafted resolution establishing time, place, and manner restrictions for transient. It's been on here for a long time. We are going to have to make a decision about how we want to regulate transient vendors in the township. So I've been here for almost 20 years, and we've never allowed transient vendors. That's like door-to-door solicitation, right? So somebody calls, I want to get a pass to go door-to-door. Oh, well, you can't, we don't allow it. Well, recently we got a call from someone, and one of our residents asked about the issue. So I researched it. We actually can't prohibit it. We can only restrict the time, place, and manner of door-to-door solicitation. So residents themselves can choose to not be a place where solicitation is allowed, but it has to be the residents that establish that do not knock.
Like a homeowners association.
I'm not sure. That's a question that Mr. McGinley asked me. The county prosecutor can't give me legal advice that isn't legal advice for the township, so they can't advise as to what a homeowners association maybe can and can't do based on that homeowners association's covenants and restrictions. So we have to look at what the township has the ability to do.
I would, just from a practical standpoint, Fred, your covenants and restrictions are incumbent upon the property owners, not upon somebody who's not a party to that. Does that make sense? When you buy your property, you're
does.
buying into the covenants and restrictions.
Correct.
The general public is not a party to that.
Good point.
So I don't think that you would be able to do that on a covenant and restriction basis, but certainly on an individual residence basis, you can post those
Yeah,
signs
absolutely
Yeah.
can.
requesting. Now, I think the chief will tell us that while that's a sign that says, please don't knock on my door, or then solicitation prohibited, whatever, I don't believe there's any violation of law if they were to knock on your door,
What I
that he
have
could take any
drafted
action.
and gotten approved by the prosecutor's office would include a violation of law when that do not knock registration is violated.
If it's registered.
If they have a do not knock sticker, or if they're on our list. So there's a couple of ways that we can do this. We can maintain a list that the township has that says, all right, Mr. McGinley, Donna, Denise, they've told us, they've filled out this paperwork, they don't want solicitors, so we would create a list when transient vendors come in to register, because they have to register, we check their background with the police department. The police department says, yeah, these people are okay to go door to door, and then we would issue them a solicitor badge. If that vendor then went to and knocked on the door of someone on the list, or someone that had a placard on their door, they would be guilty of whatever the resolution established, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
Misdemeanor.
But the way that we've had it reviewed by the prosecutor's office, we're ready to go if the township decides that they would like to regulate transient vendors. I think that it makes sense, because then we have knowledge of the background of the folks that are knocking on people's doors. I think that's a real benefit. The police department knows who's in our community. We just have to do a really good job getting the word out, letting people know.
Yeah, you definitely see, like, on the Nextdoor neighbor app, you see a lot of people like, this person's a scam and that sort of thing, so it would be nice to have
So
some
what I'll do is I
control.
have all of the documentation, I have all of the resolutions, the draft resolutions, all of the applications, all of the things put together. I will email them to you, you can take a look at them. That way, if you have questions, you can let me know, and we can bring it up at another meeting and talk a little bit more about it.
Have you, besides vetting your documentation with the prosecutor's office, have you talked to other townships or the Ohio?
Most all townships
Okay,
do this.
Ohio Township is
Yeah.
also, perfect, okay.
Beaver Creek may not. I did call one that didn't, and it was shocking to me. It may be Beaver Creek, but Washington,
All the others do.
Many of them do. I think probably for that very reason that they want
The respectable townships.
Not the other creek, okay. All right, we'll move to fiscal officer.
Yeah, quick update. We officially submitted the temporary appropriations to the county. They did receive them, got confirmation back. And then we'll be working on year-end and closing out the year here in the next few weeks, so. And also, I have some additional information, but I'll wait till we get to the discussion agenda items. I'll kind of review the
Okay.
spreadsheet and talk a little bit about some other things.
Super.
All right, fire.
So the report was as of the year end?
As far as the
So we had 1,541 calls?
45, if I remember.
Okay.
1,545.
45? Did I write that down wrong? Good.
Who won the bet? Yeah. Shasta Bean won $100. Well, I took the UTV down to Middletown today for the, up the new scene library. Took a quick turnaround.
All right.
I do have a question.
Oh.
As far as like the Cabela's Christmas Parade and the Mary Ferry Christmas Parade, those sort of things, is there a way you could let us know about those things? Like some of those, I didn't know they were happening. Like, that would have been fun to see.
Sure.
Yeah. So did you actually have vehicles in it? And where was it? So just in front of like the Cabela's parking lot, was it?
Yeah, all around the Cabela parking lot.
Okay, that's fun.
Then the Perry Road starts right off, then Dayton, and then goes up to the.
Mary Ferry.
Farm.
Okay, that's great.
Where's it go from to?
Wilmington, Dayton to the Lucas Brothers Farm.
Oh.
Then they have food, children.
Okay, oh, that's great. Okay. That's nice they do. Do they do that specifically just to, like, acknowledge the fire department?
No,
Is
it's a
that
neighborhood thing.
It's a whole,
They
okay,
provide us
that's
with
great.
fire.
Okay, that's really great.
So did we have more calls this year or last year?
This year, repeated by 18.
18? So I saw that you went to Bellicera on a call. I don't ever remember seeing a call to Bellicera before.
Yeah, 3 quite a bit.
Do you? And we had 65% of all the calls were in Zone 721.
Yes, sir.
Let me guess where that is. That's Wilmington Pike? And we give out twice as many mutual aid calls as what we receive mutual aid for.
Correct.
As far as the roof for Station 71, so you reached out to Bone Dry Roofing. Do we have any other estimates, or have you looked at that? Gotcha, okay. Is it an active leak, or you just look, like, do you have any leaks, or you're just planning ahead?
20-year-old roof, and then when we get the new exhaust system and people exhaust system.
It's gonna,
you know,
yeah.
Have to make penetration.
So you know it's coming, you need to do it. Gotcha, okay.
Oh, right here, 146, received, given 72, received.
So it's 2-1, and Bellbrook is by far the greatest recipient of our mutual aid, as you would expect, because they're
74.
geographically in that area. Since we're already going there. We're already there. I'm telling you. Okay,
These will be some good slides.
there'll be some good slides.
All right.
All right, Chief, please. Anything more, Chief, for the police?
For the police, just an update on the promotional process. We have 4 candidates, four officers put in for the sergeant's position.
Okay.
We should have an org board put together, and they will be meeting with each candidate on the 16th.
Who else on your board then? The review board?
So I have 3 outside
Three outside.
individuals from other departments.
Great, okay, that is good. Any questions for the police?
Nope.
All right, let's move to roads and services.
3 deer and a coyote. So I assume he has everything he needs for a skid loader now that he's got the bucket?
Correct.
And I know Greene County does not pick up animals, right? So we've,
We pick up extra
we're picking
ones.
up, we're helping out, okay. All right, any other questions for roads and services? Okay, IT?
So we talked about it in the work session. We need a new backup for our email system. Our tech advisors had slated us for a 4 terabyte drive, and it turns out that one's too small. So they have upgraded that to an 8 terabyte drive, and we'll give them the orders to move forward on that tomorrow. Everything else is good. Yeah, there was a House bill that passed this fall, that or late summer, I should say, that deals with cybersecurity issues, and we're continuing to work through them on that issue to make sure we're good for the July date.
Which is great, because we are required
Yep.
by Ohio Revised Code to meet these criteria. All right,
And we are already subject to reporting incidents, so if we have an incident, we are required to report even though we don't have a policy in place yet.
Yep.
and have we had any?
No.
I know you've said
Attempts.
attempts.
Yep.
Well, that's good.
Well, that's increasing everywhere.
Our staff is figuring out,
Well-
don't click on the button.
Well, that's very difficult to manage.
All right, let's move to trustee reports. Do you have anything
Do
to
you have
say,
anything to
Jody?
report?
No,
But you will. All right, Fred?
I don't have anything to report either.
Okay. One thing we didn't get to in the work session that I wanted to bring up, the baby box, we're continuing to work on that initiative, and for those of you that don't know what a baby box is, if a mother is in a crisis situation where she determines she cannot take care of the child, this gives her an alternative. By Ohio Revised Code, you can already, anyone that has a newborn 30 days or under can release that child to a firefighter, EMT person, a police officer, or a medical professional. But what they found is it's very difficult for someone to physically hand over a child, looking someone face to face and say, hey, take my baby. And so we have been talking about installing one in our safety building, a baby box, through the company Safe Haven Baby Box. And it's been, we've received pledges and donations to 100% cover the cost of that, so it'll be no cost to the township to do that. And we are working on contract negotiations with Safe Haven right now. And the one challenge with that is camera placement, because one of the big taglines is they want it to be anonymous for the parent, and I think we found a location on our safety building that meets all of the criteria for the Safe Haven Baby Box folks and for us to maintain safety in our buildings. So I think we're moving ahead and things are looking good on that.
That's impressive. I did have one piece I wanted to go over, and that was the bike path. So in 2026, I will keep and maintain that relationship, Carol, with Alex from Bernie Marino's office, but I don't expect much support from him. And so you and Barry are going to meet with the Park District?
We are. We're going to meet with Greene County Parks and Sugar Creek Bellbrook Parks and just brainstorm. It's an important piece of, connectivity throughout the county. It's important. Morris Reserve is right there. We heard tonight what a significantly important park that is to the community. So we're going to brainstorm at this point. We know that we've been unsuccessful with Rays a number of times, and look at what other options might be out there for us.
We've gone to Washington, D.C. and asked for federal money. 2 years ago, we thought we were really close, and unfortunately, that didn't happen. Last year was disappointing at best. So we're changing our strategy, going to work with the Park District. Carolyn's going to be on the Miami Valley Regional Planning, and she's going to bring that up to Miami Valley Regional Planning to see if they can help us in any way.
You understand there might be state money available, so we'll look for a whole lot.
Right, and I'm going to meet with the folks down there in Loveland that got the bike path there, and they have connections at the state, and they can help us, give us some guidance on how to get through that. So we got a three-prong approach of how to get something going here. So 2026, we need at least some momentum to get this thing rolling.
There is a capital budget taking place at the state this year. And so Kara, I had talked with Kara about it this morning, and she's reached out to Representative Lampton's office, to get details on submission dates and things like that. And that would be for the bridge on Feedwire over
Capital budget,
Little
those are
Sugar Creek.
$25 million projects, but maybe our smaller bridge project.
Which is still almost $1 million.
Again,
That's the one to Waterford, like
Yes.
that one. Gotcha, okay, right, okay.
And that's an important piece in
That is.
finishing that puzzle.
I get it, yep.
Delayed that for a long time.
We'd like to get that finished. Okay, I'm done.
Great, okay. I think I am as well. All right, we'll move on to public comments, limited to 5 minutes per person, agenda-related business only. All right, Denise?
Sorry I spoke out earlier. I was just angry about Denise Moore, Napa Valley Drive. I was angry about the county commissioners again. And so I'm not clear about what it is that is the problem with them not contributing their fair share. I'm not informed enough to be able to go out and publicly blast them for not doing it. And I did suggest this before. If somebody would put together a letter Why couldn't we get the public involved? And maybe if we get the public more involved, it would put pressure on them. Of course, we just elected them, didn't we? No, did we?
One.
No, yeah, one.
Yeah, we have one coming up this year.
Yeah, this year. One this year, that would be good. I mean, so I'm not informed enough about, and I don't know how much of the interstate there at that exchange, how much of that is Greene County's property versus Montgomery County property. So, I mean, there may be a reason why they're not contributing that I'm not aware of. Can somebody explain why they're not contributing? And if you think that a campaign, I mean, we know a lot of homeowners association people in our area, and I don't know, I mean, we could connect with Centerville and some of their property people. They're, in Kettering, the same way. I mean, isn't there a strategy that we could, that wouldn't necessarily put it on you guys, that could come from the people? But if it's coming from the people, me and others, then it has to be written by somebody who's knowledgeable about the scenario and what's going on, because I'm just not informed. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we would definitely need to get more information. So I think the core of the issue is that the Greene County engineer has funding, a certain amount of funding, and the Greene County commissioners have a certain amount of money, but they're saying since it's a road project, they're thinking all the money needs to come from the Greene County engineer. And she already has her funds extended and committed other places. So that's what I believe the core of the issue is.
Go ahead, Fred, I'm sorry.
So the issue kind of is, Greene County is making contribution, but it's coming from the engineer's office. The county commissioners have to approve it. County commissioners approved $295,000 last year, which is Greene County money. That's a goodly amount. Okay? So they have approved it. Okay? Now, going forward, there's going to be more money required.
Right.
And the commissioners almost think that the county engineer is outside their sphere. And if she can come up with the money, they may or may not approve it. But they don't want to take any more money out of the commissioner's budget. They think it all ought to come out of the engineer's office, as Carolyn pointed out. So the money that she has come up with, they've approved. So it's not all dark. They have another alternative. Grange Hall Road would like an exit on 675. All the money that they have from Wilmington Pike from sales tax and stuff is here. It may slow down if we don't get these improvements, but they think if they get a whole new intersection, they would get a lot more money. So they're prioritizing where they think the commissioner's money needs to come from versus the engineers.
And I think another issue is ODOT, so they're not consistent in their funding model, and sometimes they require a local match and sometimes they don't. And I think the commissioners...
Sometimes it's bigger than others.
And sometimes it's bigger than others. So the commissioners are, I don't know if they're holding out or if they're questioning why we have such a high local match, like when they've seen other circumstances where if we wait until we're in a terrible, distressful situation, then ODOT might come in and fund more of it instead of asking for the local match, because we're going to be in a jam, as it were, at that point. So we're trying to be proactive, but they're saying wait till you're in dire stress and need.
So maybe it's not a good idea to have a community uprising.
I don't think at this time.
We need to get smarter.
And we got to get smarter about where it is and where they're coming from.
So a lot of what I want to say is going to be a lot less kind than what the trustees have said, so I'm going to be very careful. part of the problem is communication between the county engineer and the county commissioners. There is an adversarial relationship there, and with the county administrator. So there's been lines drawn that this is ours, this is yours, spend yours, but you're not touching ours. So the mindset, I think the mindset of the commissioners is it's not their problem. It's not their problem. Now, they get $3 to $4 million a year in sales tax from that interchange area. But they don't want to put any of that back into maintaining that area. To me, I think that's irresponsible and short-sighted. There's another 60, 80 acres on the south side of 675 that's going to develop starting this year, and traffic is going to be atrocious.
Yeah.
Because of their lack of willingness to participate in this project. We've been working on this for 5 years. We held public meetings. I think you attended at the Sinclair branch over here. And we showed everybody representations of what we could have and asked them to give us their input and take a vote so we could come out with the best project, the most liked project. The most liked project was never an option, but yet we presented it to the public. That's terrible to me. That's setting us up for failure, right? To add off-ramps at Feedwire Road was the number one pick, overwhelmingly the number one pick. But that's a new interchange exit, which means there's a 50% local share on the project of $100 million. Well, it's an unsurmountable bite that we'd have to take to do that. Additionally, we looked at every other option showed a widening of the Feedwire Bridge to alleviate some of the congestion that we have there every day, morning and evening. There's traffic backed up there. There is no option today that has a widening of that bridge, because the Greene County Commissioners will not participate on a roadway that is theirs to maintain. We will not be widening that bridge as part of these projects. That's terrible to me, to go to the public and ask them their input, show them the pictures, show them what we're going to have, and then pull that off the table. So it's embarrassing to me. It really is, that we're that far along, 5 years into this, and these guys won't budge, will not budge.
From what I understand, Barry, the county administrator, I thought he was saying that the one way they would look at widening that bridge is if ODOT was helping contribute to that. So from what I understood, that was the one way they would get
buy-in. The clear message that we received at 2 meetings with the county, one was with the county commissioners and Brandon Huddleston, and then the second one was with Congressman Turner. I can't use the adjective that was used by the county administrator, but not one blanking dime will they contribute to this project.
Okay.
That's pretty definitive.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. And we've tried to get them to look at the bigger picture and to understand, if they took the sales tax revenue off what's coming in from the south side, the new portion that's going to develop, and pledge that to this and hang on to the $4 million they're getting currently and in the future, that would help. That would help, but they're not interested. At the same time, I'm stepping on toes, but I think it has to be said. At the same time, they're going to build a very nice $100+ million new facility for their offices off of 35. That serves their interest and not the interests of the residents that travel this road every day. Again, my opinion, short-sighted.
Well, if you decide that we should have a community
I think your
action.
question is best asked of them. Go to their meeting and ask them.
I know, but if I had more information, I might do that. I just don't feel like I can confront them and not have all the details.
Let us go to this meeting.
Yeah, there's a meeting on the 14th of January.
16th, excuse me,
16th, I'm
the
sorry,
Friday.
the Friday, yep, okay.
The breakfast, and go to that meeting and get an update on where we are, because the information I have is probably a year old.
And that's a meeting for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Then we'll get back.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Denise. All right, thank you. All right, I saw Marvin's hand up, yep.
Agenda related?
Marvin Moeller, 3614 Middle Run Road, West Spring Valley, Ohio. Couple things about what you were just talking about.
I have to correct you. Sugar Creek Township.
Sugar Creek Township, right, okay. Not a problem. That's one of the things I want to talk about. One of the things that, she was just talking about, remember, we just had a county commissioner that ran for office that got put in office that promised us that she would work on getting that 675 project, Wilmington Pike corridor changed. Zero have we got information from her. Zero help has come out from her on helping with that. So, we've got to start holding the county commissioners responsible for this, because like Barry said, they're bringing in $3 to $4 million a year of tax revenues off that, and it's not right that we as township citizens have to pay the expense of trying to get that roadway put in. It's not our road. It's their road. They need to take care of it. I'll get off that one. The other thing I had was, I noticed we didn't do a prayer before the meeting tonight.
It's because our pastor didn't show up.
was
So
that it?
is why.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we didn't lose that.
Thanks, Marvin. Mhm.
Lose on that tradition there. How about the fire department study? Has the city of Bellbrook came back with anything at all on this yet?
We discussed that quite a bit in our work session today, and we are going to approach them and move forward, and we're hoping to have a public meeting where we can have all the full city council and the full trustee board and citizens attend and talk pros and cons and alternatives, ways we might be able to make this work, and
No
have that
date yet?
discussion.
We're
No
hoping to
date
do it in
yet.
January.
Okay. And the other thing I had is, I didn't say Sugar Creek Township. Of course, you know how I felt about us, Sugar Creek, not getting the recognition we need all the time. Something I just noticed today, did you notice the new coffee shop they just remodeled up
We
there?
talked about tonight, too. It's being changed.
I couldn't believe that when I saw that.
Dunkin' Donut?
Are they going to change it to
They're
Sugar Creek?
changing it. Yep.
Okay, good. Because I was thinking that one of the things we need to look at that for...
Actually, that's a Centerville mailing address.
Well, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know that. It's a Dayton mailing.
It's actually a Bellbrook address. It's a Bellbrook mailing address.
Well, anyhow, one of the things we should do is, and just an idea is, every time anybody comes in for zoning like that, we need to really start pushing it more, make sure that they know it's Sugar Creek. We know you're in Dayton or Centerville mailing address, but you need to have Sugar Creek on your stuff. Same way with plan reviews, when the fire department's doing the plan reviews, because again, this is a safety issue. If somebody comes in and they say, well, that says Centerville, or that says Bellbrook on it, they don't know to call Sugar Creek Police or call the Sugar Creek Fire Department. So it's something that we really need to kind of take a look at. So I just hoping we get the branding done. In one of the township newsletters, they had a great article on building your township brand. I don't know if you guys got to read that or not.
In the OSHA magazine?
Yeah, it was in an older one, but it was a good one. It talks about branding your township.
Can I have it?
Yeah.
Thanks,
It talks
Marvin.
about different things that you can do to try to get your township branded. Like I said, I really believe we need to get more signs on Wilmington Pike from 725 to Wilmington Pike. We do not have a sign there yet that says Sugar Creek Township. It'd be great to have that put in there. So people
Where's
know.
that at, Marvin?
As you turn off of 725 on the Wilmington Pike heading
Going
north, there's nothing there that says Sugar Creek Township. Now, if you go off to the side roads, on
Then,
Briggs and
right.
all them, it does have a sign there, but if you come off 725, you don't have it. Now, if you come up Wilmington Pike and go across 725, there's a sign there, but there's nothing as you go through 725. So if you don't come up Wilmington Pike off South Wilmington, you don't see nothing that says you're in Sugar Creek Township. And there is a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit sign up there. They could have a Sugar Creek sign, a small sign put on there for right now, but I think we ought to look at putting a bigger sign in there.
We know a sign guy.
Yeah, could you
Yeah.
talk to Justin? And okay, we'll look into that, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, any other public comments, agenda-related topics only? Okay. Old business, we discussed in the work session, the city of Bellbrook Parks, schools, and the township. The park is going to host the next community meeting. We do not have a date yet for that. All right, we'll move on to consent agenda items. The payment of bills, minutes, and declaration of excess property for the fire department. Is there anything that you think needs to be broken out, Barry, for further
I
discussion?
don't think so. You've got a declaration of excess property from the fire department. The Tahoe that our fire marshal is using, or has been using, it's a 2017, it's got quite a bit of mileage, and it needs a new transmission. The initial estimate that we got on it was about $8,000 to replace the transmission on a vehicle that's maybe worth 10 to 12. Probably not a good investment. We had looked at replacing it with another vehicle, but we have another vehicle on hand that we're going to repurpose and put him in that instead, save the money.
Super. Good plan. All right, with that, I'll make a motion that we accept the consent agenda items as written.
Second.
Do I say yes? Yes.
If you want to.
You're not allowed to ask.
You can say yes or no.
As a point of order, I'm going to suggest in the future you not ask how to vote. It's your decision.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Ms. Steffen?
Yes. All right, now we'll move to discussion agenda items.
Rich, maybe you
And
want
Rich
to
will talk
change
on this
the
one.
order of when you ask how we're going to vote, so that,
There's a proper procedure for it. The person making the motion is last, the person second is second to last, and the other person is first.
So Jody will be making motions in no time, and then she won't be
she'll be
the...
second everything.
First or second, that's right.
Okay, thank you.
So before Rich delves into his presentation, I am sorry, my husband has been texting me, my son hurt his arm at basketball practice, and he's at the emergency room, so if it's okay that I step out, I stayed as long as I could.
Take care.
Thank you.
Drive like crazy.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Chief Brown says drive safely.
Keep sending a text.
At least escort would be nice.
Hey, we got it.
Keep up with it.
All right, Rich, let's go
Yeah,
ahead.
just a brief overview. I know that the trustees get a spreadsheet that we worked on a few years ago, and really, that was a result of determining our carryover cash position, which our goal was 25% for the next year as the timing of the revenue comes in. So that's what we shoot for, and just real briefly, the general fund ended the year, and these are final numbers based on the fund status report, at 59.5%, with roads being 46, roughly 46, almost 47, police at 50, fire at 27, and then EMS at 53. So those are conservative also. The tax revenue number that we use in this spreadsheet comes from Greene County, which is typically lower than what we actually receive. Revenue for the year, last year, every one of our line items was above the budgeted revenue portion, and our expenditures were below what we budgeted on the expenditure side.
That's
So
good.
I'm conservative on the revenue, of course, even on the non-tax revenue side. You never know. We don't like to plan for that because some of those items may not happen. So overall, a strong position, and again, probably even a little stronger than what it will be based on the revenue. For example, the general fund budget last year for revenue was $485,000. We received $523. So again, that 485 is a number we get from Greene County. And the other departments were like that, maybe not as such a variance, but that's kind of how we work that. So another comment I'd like to make on the debt side is that regarding fire, we have one more payment on, is it Engine 71?
Yes.
Okay, one more payment next December, and that $56,000 payment goes away. And then on the ladder truck, we have next April payment of $106,000, And then in '27, we have about a $35,000 payment for our last payment because of the payment
Wow,
we had.
that's
So
terrific.
at the end of '27, if
Wow.
it doesn't buy any more trucks, we're going to be sitting pretty good. Now, I know they're on order, so I think my point is the timing could be pretty good. It'll just
Wow.
be replaced probably with the new unit. So overall, I think it's a pretty strong, a strong year and a strong position.
Rich, does the fire include the new levy that passed that goes into effect?
It does. It goes into effect this year. That's right.
Okay, good.
I do have a question. How do you retire a fund? So I see we still have a COVID relief line item on here that's obviously got no budget or anything in it. but
Yeah, we
how does
keep
that
them
work?
for a couple years after,
years,
just to be
okay.
sure. But I think there are a few that could be cleaned up, and then we can get with Dee.
Gotcha. Okay, great. Any other questions?
Pretty good report.
It is.
Yeah, I think compliments to the departments. I mean, they work hard, we're in contact often. Like I said earlier, the expenditures outpace the tax revenues, so coming from the private not from the public sector and more of the for-profit, it's a little different, and it has been, because when we run out, we have to go back to the people. So that's what we want to avoid. But I will say that the expenditures grow faster than the tax revenue.
Thank you. All right, next we'll move to public comments, limited to 5 minutes per person, township-related business only. Anyone? Okay.
Donna Hellman, 3981 Windy Bluff Court. I wanted to address an issue that was discussed this evening, but it came up before Christmas, but I didn't want to ruin the holidays, but anyway. It has to do with the moving of the meetings, the one meeting, from Monday night to Monday day. On the, it's a
Third Monday.
the third Monday of the...
Second meeting.
No.
Second meeting, third Monday.
Second meeting, third
of the
Monday.
month, right, second meeting of the month. Okay, so I've been coming to these meetings for 20 years, maybe, somewhere around in there. Started with Sugar Ridge being developed and all of that. And over the years, things have changed. Back then, there wasn't the involvement of social media that there is today. So there were a lot of people at the meetings because you had to come. Over the time, work sessions at that time were held on a different day than the meetings. Then we went to the point where the work sessions were before the general meeting, the township meeting, which was great because I could attend now the work session and the meeting like I did today, and it's current, it's in my mind and all of that, and for everybody else as well that attends. Then we got to the point where we started condensing meetings so that instead of everybody having to present their reports, it was where you ask no further comments unless somebody asks you questions, so that cut down time as well. So then the last change that came along was that the staff, the chiefs and the road crew people, they used to have to attend both meetings, and then it went to just one every month. So that was great. And so now we want to now put it during the day. Couple problems with that. The majority of the people that attend these meetings, and we have new faces that I see upon occasion, people who have, really committing, and they're showing up. And I doubt that they can make the meetings during the day. One of the reasons that was given in the meeting where this was discussed was that there had been talk with Oakwood and Centerville. Unfortunately, we do not live in Oakwood or Centerville.
Those are cities, just to correct you.
I understand.
It was townships that I called, and it's Beaver Creek and Washington.
Okay, Beaver Creek, be that as it may, those are not your residents.
Correct.
The people in this room, the people who are now going to be able to see things recorded, are the people that you represent. And you are, as a result of this, transparency is still disappearing. I mean, you're not getting feedback that you can get by moving a meeting to during the day when we can't attend. And for the sake of the argument, there are 3 meetings a year, 3 different months, that 2 of them, the meetings are the 3rd Monday of the month, that they're holidays, and the other one's Labor Day. So you've got, out of that, at least 3 months where there's only going to be 1 meeting unless you call a special meeting. I get it. Time, people want to be with family and that, but when you commit to a position, be it a job or a volunteer one, you're committing yourself to represent it, and you understand what that involves, and you do that. I have done that over the years. I've been on boards, and, there have been times where my commitment even meant that I had to travel in one position. 2 years in a row, I had to go to the international meeting in Chicago. And I knew that going in. One board I was on, we had our meetings scheduled once a month, but then we did a strategic plan in there, so there were nights that we met and put that together, and then based on the strategic plan, there were action items, of which I chaired 2 of those. It's a commitment. If that's a problem, then maybe the person or the people need to reevaluate what they're doing with their career. I think it speaks poorly when you start eliminating the ability for the residents to attend a meeting. And as I have noticed over years of other things, that once one meeting goes to the day, then the next one will suddenly end up in the day. And then you get even less people that are going to have the ability to attend a meeting. I don't know that that's how you really want to present yourself to your residents and get the information and represent them and get their input. And I'm not happy about it. I can't guarantee I can make a meeting. I don't make all the meetings, but I make most of the meetings. So, not happy.
All right. We appreciate your comments, Donna. And as we discussed in the work session a little bit, this is a trial change to see if we could potentially get people that work like third shift, that sort of thing, to get a different demographic to try to get more people to the meetings. So, and it also has the advantage of getting more of our staff there during the day. So, as we mentioned in the work session, though, it is subject to change to go back to our original plan if we determine it's a flop on our first or second attempt here. So, I don't think any of us are married to it has to continue for the whole year or anything like that.
We did, I called 2 of the other townships just to see what they did, and they said we get a different group of people. Marvin was a big proponent, get people to come to the meetings. Nothing personal, but many meetings, we have 3 people here. Louis knows who the 3 are. There's 3 people. Now we're getting a little bigger crowd, so maybe we're wrong. We don't know. So we heard what you said, and I think I'll speak for Jody, I think we're all committed to, we will change it back if we don't get the results we're looking for.
But you
But-
didn't query, how many people did you talk to in the township about changing it?
None.
See, and when you made that comment in that meeting, I felt like I had been slapped in the face because you didn't bother not only to talk to the people who have been attending meetings, but you didn't pulse anybody else in the township. You talked to Beaver Creek, you talked to Washington Township. They're not our people.
Understood, by talking to those folks versus talking to the folk. I mean, if we did a sample size, no matter what sample size we took, it'd be too small. By talking to some of the other townships, they got different results than what they got from having just night meetings. And so we thought, in an effort to get a different demographics, different people, giving people at different shifts, a chance to see what'll happen.
So what
What-
criteria are you
what-
going to use to decide whether this is working or not? You got a criteria by which you're going to make
Yeah,
that decision?
why don't we table this, and we'll give it some more thought and discussion, and we can bring it up
Table it
at
yet.
further meeting.
I want to add my 2 cents.
Okay, all right, good. State your name and address and all that good
I'm
stuff.
sorry.
B Road. I'm actually looking forward to the daytime meeting, so I don't want to, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I think that there will be people who can come in the day who can't come at night for various reasons. If they have small children at home, dinner time, activities, whatever, homework, if their kids are in school in the day and they're not at work, or they can come during their lunch hour, they can come. There are people who don't like to drive at night, and I'm quickly getting into that category of people. You know, I make it here, but there may be people who can drive during the day and who are up. And this is kind of after people's bedtime as we get older. So, I don't know. I just wanted to say there, I wasn't asked either, but I'm looking forward to the daytime meeting. And there is an easy way, this is really why I came up here. On Facebook, as you know, we can talk to about, you know, we can talk to hundreds of people, and especially on the community page. You can easily make a poll on a Facebook comment. It takes, you know, a minute, maybe. And then anybody replying to that or that poll can just choose one of your selections, or even add a third if there needed to be one. So just, that would be a really quick way to talk to a lot of residents and get the feedback and find out if people are like, I'm never coming to a daytime meeting, or.
Gotcha, okay. Did you have a comment?
So-
Jenny?
Oh, I was just
Okay.
listening to her.
Gotcha, okay.
If you have concrete data to back why you're doing something, it makes it much more easier to talk about it, of why you've made a decision. I didn't know it changed either. If I was still working at the base, I wouldn't be able to attend them. So, but another easy fix, and we've talked about it for a while, is that if the videos were recorded, like Louis does it for Bellbrook. I was at a city council meeting a month or so ago, and before I was even home, it was already online for people to view it. We live in the 21st century of technology, and people are not savvy to sitting in meetings anymore. It's not who we serve for the most part, so.
I do think you'll get a different group.
Yeah, just to have options for people is really what needs to happen, so.
Agreed.
But I will say, for those of you that want to go home and watch the meeting again, if this wasn't enough, it is officially on our website, so you can go click and.
Tonight's will not be there right away.
Well, not before you get home, but we are posting them on the website now, so they are there.
Yeah, it's easy for people that can't.
Yeah. All right.
Suggest one more thing.
Can you come to the podium, Denise? I'm sorry. All that way, thank you.
It would help, I think, all of us, if we got the packet up there, thank goodness, and it was on time. If we could have the website, where the video is, on every packet at the beginning, or on the agenda. Here's where you go.
It's on our homepage of our website.
Okay, but, I mean, it would be helpful.
If it was-
Like
it's
a link
connected
It's
to
like
it.
this long, that's the problem, right?
Well, we could do a QR code. Yeah, a QR code's easy. Okay. Good idea, thank you, Denise, okay.
That was worth the walk.
All right, we can make that happen. All right, okay, Marvin?
Yeah, I just got one issue here. Since the election's over, and I've had a lot of residents call me and ask me a lot of questions of things that's going on with this township and why things are going the way they are. One of the things a lot of the residents were asking me in Jody's campaign literature, she put she was a lifelong resident of Sugar Creek Township. Is that true? Are you a lifelong resident of Sugar Creek?
I've been connected to Sugar Creek Township my entire
No, I
life.
didn't say connected. I said, did you live in Sugar Creek Township, as your campaign literature says?
I lived in Florida because I went to school. I've been back and forth.
Okay, so as you know, you're open and honest communications, that's not a true statement then, was it? As a lifelong resident of Sugar Creek
Marvin, I'm not
Township.
here to discuss this.
What's that?
I'm not here to discuss my campaign with you right now. I don't even think that's on the agenda.
We're supposed to be open and honest in our communications, and we always have been. I'd hate to see this new Board of Trustees starting out on the wrong foot by not having open and honest communications. And
Right, I will caution, let's stay, we say on our second page that we do have meeting conduct and guidelines, so just wrap up here, please, Marvin.
Okay, I'm wrapping it up.
Okay.
So, I just wanted to find that out, because I have residents that call me and ask me that question. I said, I can't tell you honestly, I knew for sure she didn't live in Sugar Creek.
Well, maybe just have them contact me. Have them contact me, that would alleviate you.
Well, I mean, we just answered it right there, that you're not a lifelong resident of Sugar Creek Township. Okay. So, so I was wanting to just find out, make sure, get my answers there.
All right, anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to trustee and staff discussions.
I've got one other item. We received the invoice from the Dayton Development Coalition for our annual membership, $1,000. I put it on your desk tonight. They do great things for this region. We know that. The base is where it is today, vibrant as it is today because of the DDC and their involvement out there in Jobs Ohio. So with the board's approval, I'd like to move forward and get them paid again this year. I know we have gone the last couple of years to the fly-in to visit with Congress and the Senate, and I think the consensus of the board from last year was not to participate in that this year. And maybe fly individually to Washington, probably save some money in the process, and arrange meetings with the actual legislators and not with their staff.
I guess as we were talking strategy in our work session today, I'm thinking that we want to prioritize what are we trying to accomplish, and would there be any gain from participating in that. But as far as the invoice, that's a no-brainer to me. They do a lot of economic development in the community and help collaborate as far as getting grant money and many other things. And they're also helping with the Wilmington Pike I-675 project. So I would make a motion that we accept this $1,000 expense.
Yes.
Okay, so you'll second.
So when there's a
Now
motion,
you threw it off again, okay.
I know. When there's a motion
second
made, there
it.
has to be action on the motion to move forward.
Okay, so Jody
You're
seconds.
seconding.
Okay,
Now it goes to the vote.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Stephanie?
yes.
Ms. Putterbo?
All right.
You guys threw my order off, you're confused again.
We tried to straighten it out.
All right.
That's all I have.
All right, any other items for discussion, Jody?
No.
Okay, Fred?
Nope.
All right, I don't have anything either. All right, the time is 8:46, and I will officially adjourn the meeting by acclamation, or do you want me to take a motion? Okay.
You better take a vote.
Okay, they started saying we can do by acclamation, that we don't have to take a vote
said that?
anymore. They're saying that at the OTA, I believe, at that level. So we'll get proof, but I'll go ahead and say, I'll make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
No.
Okay, so Jody seconds.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Stephanie?
Yes.
Ms. Putterbo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Meeting adjourned.
Then I get to vote first, so you know how to
Practically
vote.
flawless.
Just a real quick question for the trustees.
Yes, sir.